How do you think we should get into it? It didn't quite work. Let's try it again.
It's bending it.
It's bending it. All right, I'm about to slam it.
All right.
This is the story of the time we found a literal dead body in a storage unit.
I bought a storage unit for $50 and found this.
Imagine opening a storage unit only to be greeted by the grotesque and the macabre. This is not just a simple closet filled with forgotten items. This is the entrance to a realm where the common and ordinary morphs into the extraordinary, where the benign mutates into the spine-chilling. Welcome, dear listeners, to the mysterious and unseen world of storage unit horrors. These inconspicuous metallic structures scattered across the length and breadth of our planet aren't merely repositories for discarded furniture, dusty photo albums, or antiquated appliances. Far from it, they serve as sanctuaries for the eerie, the bizarre, the petrifying. Each unit stands as an isolated portal to a universe of dread and fascination, promising mysteries that reside beyond the reach of the mundane. Picture this: an unassuming lock, a rusty handle, and behind it, a Pandora's box of nightmares waiting to unfurl, to invade your reality. You may have heard tales of lucky folks stumbling upon forgotten treasures in these seemingly silent vaults. An old painting that turns out to be a lost masterpiece, a vintage car gathering dust, a stash of rare comics. Yet, for every heartwarming story of serendipitous discovery, there are darker tales that send chills down your spine. Stories of units crammed with uncanny dolls bearing lifeless eyes, or even more disturbing, containers filled with mysterious unmarked barrels, their contents a riddle best left unsolved. The often anonymous nature of these units only compounds their horror. The previous owners are often unknown, their stories lost to time, their motivations for abandoning such macabre mementos a mystery. These lingering questions only add to the sense of unease. Who were these people? What sinister circumstances drove them to leave behind this eerie cache? And the most disturbing question of all, are they coming back for their forgotten horrors? This is not a world for the faint-hearted. It's a twilight zone that thrives on the unknown, the unexpected. It's a liminal space where the line separating the living and the dead, the normal and the paranormal, becomes blurred and distorted. It's an eerie void where spectral echoes of the past intertwine with the tangible realm of the present, creating a chilling tableau that defies comprehension. Yet, despite the unease, there's an undeniable allure that tugs at our morbid curiosity, a fascination with the dark, the forbidden, the unsettling. It's the same curiosity that propels us to peek through our fingers during a horror movie, or compels us to turn the page of a spine-tingling novel, despite the shivers running down our spine or the goosebumps prickling our skin. So, dear listeners, I urge you to steel your nerves and steady your hearts. Draw in a deep breath, summon your courage, and prepare to descend into this crypt of curiosities. The unseen horrors concealed within these metal monoliths are about to be revealed. Brace yourselves, and remember, curiosity may not always lead to pleasant discoveries. We open the creaky doors and delve into the chilling world of storage unit discoveries. Remember to keep an open mind, and perhaps more importantly, the lights on. The unseen horrors are about to be revealed. Brace yourselves as we delve into the chilling world of storage unit discoveries. Our first tale takes us to a storage unit in Florida, where the unimaginable was discovered. Surrounded by palm trees in vibrant hues of green and set against the backdrop of a clear Florida sky, there sat an inconspicuous and seemingly ordinary storage unit. The unit was an unremarkable sight, its steel doors worn down by relentless sunbeams and the onslaught of perennial tropical rain, hiding a chilling secret that would soon send ripples of horror through the sleepy coastal town. This was by no means an average storage unit, brimming with once-cherished items, old trinkets, and dusty family heirlooms. No, the contents of this unit were much more sinister, a horrifying secret that lay in wait, shrouded by the unit's nondescript exterior. The unit, abandoned and left to crumble under the weight of time, had been deserted by its owner, who had apparently vanished without a trace. The rental dues, left unpaid and accumulating steadily, led to the unit falling into the hands of the storage company once again. The company, with no other option, decided to place the unit up for auction. Among the bidders was a local, whose eyes gleamed with the prospect of a valuable find and quick profit. The auctioneer's gavel fell, declaring local the winner and the new owner of the unit. The winning bidder, his heart pounding with anticipation and the jangling keys in his hands, stepped forward to unlock the door to his newly acquired unit. But the sight that welcomed him was far removed from the treasure trove he had imagined. As he opened the doors, a putrid stench filled the air, overpowering and making him recoil in disgust. An eerie chill swept through, making him shudder and sending a jolt of fear down his spine. Squinting into the dimly lit unit, he made out the scene in the faint light. In the midst of the dust and cobwebs lay a makeshift tomb, a sight so horrifying it made his blood run cold. Human remains lay sprawled, their journey on this earthly realm abruptly ended, their final resting place this forsaken storage unit in sunny Florida. The horrific discovery sent shockwaves through the community as word spread like wildfire. The local authorities were alerted without delay, and the unit's vicinity was cordoned off swiftly. Soon, forensic teams swarmed the scene, their gloved hands carefully navigating the gruesome discovery. An air of hushed tension hung like a heavy cloak over the scene as they worked diligently, their every move precise and deliberate. As the investigation unfurled, the identity of the remains remained an enigma. The questions continued to mount. Who was this unfortunate soul, and why were their remains stowed away in this forsaken storage unit? Each question was more unsettling than the last, adding layers of complexity to an already harrowing situation. Regardless of the ongoing investigation, one fact stood out starkly. This was not your average storage unit find. It served as a chilling reminder of the lurking darkness, sometimes found in the most unexpected and everyday places. A storage unit, meant to safeguard our valued possessions, had instead become the final place for an unfortunate soul. Who would have thought a storage unit could become a tomb? Next, we venture into a unit that served as a disturbing sanctuary. Picture this, a nondescript storage unit, a location typically earmarked for antiquated furniture, time-worn books, and overlooked memorabilia. But upon disengaging the lock of this specific unit, the sight that greets you is decidedly abnormal. Instead, you're confronted with a peculiar ensemble of items that collectively craft an unnerving diorama. The atmosphere starts to cool down as you advance inside, and a shiver of unease trickles down your spine. The prickle of your skin announces a shift in the air, a change in the energy that can't be ignored. The space seems to pulsate with an unseen force, as if each item contained within is imbued with a life of its own. Before you, arrayed in a systematically organized exhibition, are artifacts that resonate with an oddity and the mystical. Each item appears to harbor a narrative of its own, a tale that contributes to the disconcerting vibe permeating the area. Among these objects there are dolls, distinctly different from those that would populate a child's playroom. These dolls have empty eyes and twisted smiles, their bodies twisted into poses that defy the natural order. Their presence feels out of place, their expressions frozen in eerie joy, their clothing representing times and cultures far removed from the present. These dolls find themselves encompassed by an assortment of symbols, etched into the very foundation and walls of the unit. These symbols, enigmatic to the uninitiated, allude to rituals and practices far from usual. They hint at a world unseen, at practices shrouded in mystery, at beliefs that aren't commonplace. Among these intriguing artifacts, there are jars stuffed with indistinguishable substances, their contents veiled by layers of time and dirt. The jars are sealed tightly, their contents a mystery, their labels faded and unreadable. They seem to hold secrets of their own, each jar a time capsule waiting to be discovered. There are books as well, their pages aged and frail, filled with inscriptions in tongues long forgotten. Each page seems to murmur secrets that would be best left undisturbed. They are old grimoires, their contents unreadable but their importance undeniable. In the nucleus of it all, a makeshift altar takes its place, a fulcrum in this haunting sanctuary. Upon it, a series of candles, their wax hardened from age, hint at rites conducted under the shroud of night and secrecy. The candles have long since been extinguished, their wicks blackened, their purpose obscure. And at the epicenter of the altar, a metallic object glistens menacingly, its function ambiguous, its unquestionably unnerving, its form is complex, its design foreign. It's an object that defies identification, an artifact that merely adds to the mystery of this unusual space. This storage unit, which was once designed for the commonplace and routine, has been morphed into something entirely different. It's a horrifying reminder that even the most ordinary places can harbor enigmatic secrets, can morph into theater for the odd and the uncanny. A harmless storage space turned into a shrine of terror. In the heart of Texas, a storage unit held a terrifying time capsule. This wasn't just any ordinary storage compartment filled to the brim with neglected trinkets or discarded furniture. Instead, it was a chilling freeze frame of a heinous crime, a macabre scene preserved in time that would pulsate fear through even the bravest of souls. Try to picture this for a moment. Envision the daunting task of being the one to unlock that ominous door. The metallic howl of the rusty hinges echoes in the otherwise deafening silence, the palpable anticipation building like a thunderstorm as you slowly raise the heavy steel shutter. A gust of stale, suffocating air engulfs you, a musty testament to the decades that have passed since this unit last saw daylight. As your eyes begin to adjust to the dim, dusty light, the spine-chilling tableau starts to take form. Right there, smack in the middle of everything, is a grim collection of items, each one bearing the heavy burden of a sinister past. Personal belongings that once belonged to real people, faded capturing moments now lost in time, yellowing newspaper clippings, all intricately connected to a crime that once rattled the peaceful serenity of this quaint Texas town to its very core. You see, this wasn't just any petty crime. This was the kind of horrific act that imprints a permanent, ugly scar on a community, the kind that parents whisper about in hushed tones to caution their children about the vile monsters that lurk unseen in the darkness. The relics meticulously preserved in this unit were more than just mere pieces of evidence. They were a haunting reminder of the depths of evil that men can too. As you tentatively walk through this eerie time capsule, the bone-chilling specifics of the crime seem to come alive around you, taking on a form that is almost tangible. The walls of the unit, once just cold, emotionless metal, now feel like they're closing in, each item revealing a piece of the terrifying jigsaw puzzle. What strikes you as the most unnerving part of this discovery is the realization that someone deliberately preserved these artifacts. Someone somewhere wanted this gruesome crime to leave a lasting impression, to be immortalized in the most unexpected, almost surreal of places. This unit, tucked away unobtrusively in the heart of Texas, had transformed into a time capsule of terror, a grim monument to a past that stubbornly refuses to be erased from memory. This was more than just a forgotten storage unit. It was a chilling reflection of a crime that was so brutal, so heart-wrenching, that it demanded to be remembered. Each item in the unit was not just a piece of evidence. It was a part of a story that had been carefully preserved. A story that, despite its gruesome nature, was a part of the town's history, a part of the collective memory that shaped its identity. A story that reminded everyone of the depths of darkness that could exist beneath the surface of everyday life. The unit, in many ways, served as a grim reminder of the fragility of peace and the lurking presence of evil. The echoes of the crime reverberated through each artifact, painting a picture of a chilling past that was all too real. Despite the passage of time, the unit served as a bridge between the past and the present, keeping the memory of the crime alive. And there you stand in the midst of this chilling scene, an observer to a past that refuses to fade away. A crime immortalized in the most unexpected of places. Our next stop, a unit that held a collection straight out of a nightmare. Imagine this. You unlock a storage unit, expecting to find forgotten furniture or perhaps some old books. But what greets you is a sight that sends shivers down your spine. Hundreds, no thousands of eyes gaze back at you, unblinking from the shadows. You've uncovered a collection of dolls, but these are far from ordinary dolls. These are haunted dolls, each possessing its unique spine-chilling tale. Stories that are more eerie than any horror film you've ever seen. These dolls are not mere playthings from a bygone era. They are vessels, containers that harbor something beyond our understanding, something that refuses to move on to the other side. A belief lingers among certain folks that spirits, particularly those with unfinished business or unfulfilled desires, can attach themselves to objects that held some significance to them in life. And what could possibly be closer to a person than their beloved childhood companion? Each doll in this unit carried with it a story, a past that continues to echo in its silent, unblinking stare. One such doll was a once beautiful porcelain figurine with a cracked face. Legend has it she was the precious possession of a little girl who met a tragic end. It's said the doll's face cracked at the exact moment when the life was cruelly ripped away from the girl. Ever since then, people who've had the misfortune of picking up the doll claim to hear the soft, eerie echo of a child's laughter in their ears. Not far from the porcelain doll was a rag doll. Mismatched buttons served as its eyes. This doll had a different tale to share. It belonged to an elderly lady who had lived a solitary life. Yet after her demise, the doll began to make appearances in locals' homes, those eyes always seeming to stare into the very soul of the beholder. They'd return it to the woman's now deserted house, but the doll would always find its way back. These are just a smattering of examples from this unit teeming with hundreds, possibly thousands of such dolls. Each one standing as a chilling reminder of a life once lived and a spirit that continues to seek peace. They sit there, in the all-encompassing darkness of the unit, a legion of haunted dolls, waiting in quiet anticipation. Waiting for what, might ask? That is a mystery that remains unsolved. Perhaps they are waiting for their untold tales to be narrated. After all, everybody yearns for their stories to be heard. Could it be any different for these inanimate objects that long ago ceased being mere toys, and instead became vessels for something more? Something that continues to linger in this world, refusing to cross over to the other side? But for now, they sit there in the darkness, an army of haunted dolls, their silent gazes filled with unknown secrets and tales that continue to haunt the unit. They are waiting, always waiting. An army of haunted dolls, waiting in the darkness. In California, a storage unit revealed a horrifying secret. A secret that was so deeply unsettling it sent ripples of fear throughout the entire state. The impact was so profound that it altered our perception of those seemingly harmless storage units scattered around our cities. Picture an ordinary-looking storage unit, just one amongst thousands of similar units. Its exterior is unassuming, with a padlocked metal door that doesn't reveal anything about what's hidden inside. As the door creaks open, the magnitude of its hidden content begins to emerge. The air around it begins to cool, the atmosphere growing thick with the weight of a dawning dread. The layers of the terrifying mystery hidden within are gradually exposed, slowly peeled back like the layer's ominous onion. This highly unremarkable unit was found to contain a collection of deeply disturbing items. The items were chilling proof of a horrifying crime committed in the past. A crime so shocking that it managed to remain concealed, comfortably nestled in the shadows of the seemingly inconspicuous storage unit. The unit was bursting at the seams with undeniable evidence. Each piece was a chilling component of a larger, unnerving puzzle. A puzzle that nobody ever fathomed would require solving. As the officials involved in the investigation delved deeper into the contents of the unit, they began to grasp the sheer magnitude of the crime committed. The storage unit held more than just discarded possessions. It was a storehouse of terrifying secrets, a mute spectator to unimaginable, barbaric acts. Every single item found inside was in a larger, disturbing puzzle, each one contributing to a horrifying mosaic of fear, regret, and remorse. As the investigation continued to unfold, it became increasingly clear that this storage unit was not merely a forgotten space filled with random objects. On the contrary, it was a meticulously organized chamber of secrets. Each item was a bone-chilling testament to the extreme depths of human depravity and sadism. The discovery of the unit and its contents sent shockwaves throughout the community. It acted as undeniable proof of the evil lurking in the most ordinary of places. It served as a harsh reminder that the most terrifying secrets are often hidden in front of our eyes in plain sight. The storage unit, once an unremarkable part of the urban landscape, had morphed into a macabre tableau of horror. As the last remnants of its dark, twisted secrets were revealed, a chilling thought crossed our minds. Could there be other secrets, equally horrifying, lurking in the many storage units that dot our cities? The thought was enough to send shudders down the spine. And so, the story of this unit came to a close, but the echo of its dark secrets continued to reverberate. The once innocuous storage units dotting our cities suddenly seemed to take on a new, more sinister light. A chamber of secrets hiding in plain sight. Finally, we arrive at a unit that was a veritable crypt of curiosities. Nestled in the tranquil, sleep-filled town of nowhere, this particular storage unit sat quietly, blending seamlessly with its seemingly ordinary neighbors. A casual passerby would not give it a second glance. its dull, nondescript exterior giving no hint of the marvels that lay within. But when the rusty lock was finally shattered, yielding under the pressure of a crowbar, the door creaked open with an eerie groan, revealing an unsettling sight. The dimly lit interior was not the home of forgotten furniture or discarded mementos. Instead, it was a veritable chamber of oddities, a museum of the bizarre and baffling, causing even the most hardened heart to skip a beat. It was a space that was filled right up to the brim with peculiarities and arcane artifacts. Among the myriad of items were dusty glass jars, their contents obscured by the wear of time. Each jar held a more bizarre item than the previous. Some housed what looked like ancient fragile bones, while contained strange objects, their purpose and origin buried in the sands of time. The jars had labels, but they were written in a language that seemed to belong to another era, perhaps another world. This added to the air of uncanniness that permeated the atmosphere, each scribble contributing to the enigma that was this storage unit. Dominating the collection was an old, dilapidated doll. Its glassy eyes almost seemed to move, observing anyone in its vicinity. Dressed in clothes from a forgotten era, it looked as if it had been waiting patiently, eerily, for its long-gone owner to return. There was something about the doll that made the skin prickle. It seemed to watch you, its eyes following your every move no matter where in the room you stood. In the darkest corner of the unit, a haphazard collection of ancient texts lay scattered. The musty aroma of decaying paper filled the air as one skimmed through them. Their pages, yellowed age, were covered in cryptic symbols, eerie drawings and inked illustrations that appeared to leap off the pages, sending shivers down your spine. The text seemed to whisper tales of dark rituals, ceremonies bathed in moonlight, and strange beings from realms beyond mortal comprehension. They were narratives that seemed better left unread, stories that were too chilling to be told. And perhaps the most unnerving of all, buried under a pile of dust-coated artifacts, a stack of old, sepia-tinted photographs lay forgotten. The faces in the photographs were blurred, not by the passage of time, but as if they had been intentionally obscured. Each photograph was a mystery, a puzzle piece in an unsettling jigsaw. Every frame was more disconcerting than the last, each image seemingly seeping into the very air, creating an aura of unease that was tangible. This storage unit was far from ordinary, far from the mundane. It was a crypt of curiosities, a collection of items that whispered eerie tales of the unknown, of things unseen. It was a chilling reminder of the mysteries that lurk in the corners of our world, a testament to the fact that there are things in this world that are better left undisturbed, a crypt of curiosities that would make even the bravest shudder. As we conclude our journey, remember, not all that is hidden is lost. This aphorism has resonated throughout our venture, buzzing like a phantom whisper in the wind. In the course of our eerie exploration, we've unearthed the macabre and the chilling, hidden away in the dusty corners of forgotten storage units. These units, seemingly ordinary, have proven to be receptacles of the extraordinary, each one a treasure trove of mysteries, a vortex of untold stories concealed beneath layers of dust and years of oblivion. Often in our mundane lives, we overlook the hidden, the enigmatic, the spectral. We live on the surface, ignoring the depths beneath, but our exploration has ripped away this veil of ignorance, plunging us deep into the abyss of the unknown. Each unit was a crypt of secrets, a Pandora's box of sorts, and what lay within its rusted, creaking doors was a chilling journey beyond the confines of our world, a voyage into the cryptic and the uncanny. From the unseen horrors that sent shivers down our spines to the tomb that held secrets of a forgotten past, each discovery was a step into the uncanny, a dance with the unknown. We ventured into the twilight zone, the threshold between reality and the supernatural, where every step echoed with the chilling of the past. We peered into the shrine of terror, a testament to the darkest corners of human nature, a monument to the evil that lurks within us. Its sinister relics, smeared with the patina of time, were harrowing reminders of the atrocities we are capable of. Then we stumbled upon the time capsule of fear, where time itself seemed to hold its breath, trapped in a state of perpetual terror. The walls of the capsule echoed with stories of past horrors, the air heavy with the remnants of fear. Here, time was not a healer, but a chronicler, recording the tales of dread and despair. The haunting collection was a chilling reminder of the thin line between fascination and obsession. Each artifact was a testament to the captivating allure of the morbid, the grotesque, the uncanny. A testament to our obsession with dwelling on the macabre, the terrifying, and the inexplicable. Then came the Chamber of Secrets, a labyrinth of enigmas that left us questioning the very fabric of reality. The chamber held a myriad of perplexities that twisted our perception, distorted our reality. Each artifact, each enigma, was like a piece of a jigsaw puzzle that refused to fit, leaving us in a perpetual state of bewilderment. Each storage unit, a crypt of curiosities, held its own eerie tales, each more spine-chilling than the last. But what strikes us most is the unexpected nature of these finds. A storage unit, often a repository of the forgotten and discarded, can hold within its confines a world of horrors that can send the bravest hearts racing. These are not just mere boxes of old belongings, but portals to the past, gateways to stories untold, to secrets unseen. The terror they evoke is not just from the physical artifacts they house, but also from the chilling tales they weave, the eerie silence they hold, and the uncanny shadows they cast. The horror lies as much in the discovery as it does in the anticipation, the dread of what might lurk within the next unopened unit. So, as we step away from the dimly lit corridors and the dust-laden air of these storage units, we leave with a chilling reminder of the unexpected horrors that can lie hidden in the most mundane of places. Next time you open a storage unit, beware. You never know what horrors might be lurking within.